Sports Trust acts as an implementation partner on behalf of its stakeholders and is currently working with the National Lotteries Commission, who have sponsored rugby kits and rugby safety equipment for rural rugby clubs. This handover, held at Saldanha Rugby Club, provided essential training in terms of how to correctly use the safety equipment and medical kits provided, which will ensure the safety of these clubs' rugby players.
The program started off a couple of months ago when we had discussions from guys from the Sports Trust and the National Lotteries, and today there were about 31 clubs, and we are so glad that we could play a role in their rugby future. The clubs came from places as far as Montetjie, Sierbrak in the Boland, and it was quite astounding to see how glad they were to receive these equipment. Normally in the Boland you'll have about 300 club games on any specific Saturday. Injuries do occur, and today I think most of the chairmen could see how to treat a serious injury. I think it was an eye-opener for many chairmen what they should be on the lookout for. We always say the cliche is how people are struggling on the rural areas. But you know, today's program made a massive difference. So we just want to thank SA Lotteries for their involvement. I'm sure that this will mean a lot to the clubs, and especially on the playing field, but not only on the playing field, but also administrative wise, because I think it has opened their eyes.
Today I did a basic first aid course where we covered the general principles of what to do when going onto the field, when you see a player injured, and what you need to do and what you need to keep in mind when a player is injured. For example, you need to be aware what's happening around you, and also you need to also be aware of any neck injuries, if there's any head concussions or head injuries, as well as any breathing problems. So number one, you need to be aware what's happening around you. The R is basically to be responsive. The A is just to make sure that the airway, and B is breathing, and the C is the circulation. So it's very important for players to know how to strap themselves, especially when an injured player returns back to the field, to be aware that he can still play on the field with strapping, because it's basically for support of the joint, and also to give them more proprioception to move better on the field, and also be aware where their joint is in space when catching the ball when you sidestep. So this is actually the main thing, because when a player is injured, you need to know how to remove a player from the field. So it's important to have at least 6 people to assist, because when you have a spinal injury, you need to be aware of the consequences, what can happen if you don't remove the player safe from the field. So it's quite important to know how to put the player on the board, and the instructions that goes along with it, especially when you have the player that holds the head of the player, and then that person is the person that are obviously delegating and giving instructions to the rest of the team what to do, and obviously when to pick up the player and carry them off the field.
So van 'n coaching point of view of ek dink strapping gaan gepaard met die well-being van spelers van die veld en op die veld, om spelers te verseker dat hulle kan nog rugby speel en hulle tydperk verleng. Die strapping kursus was, of die kort induksie van die strapping kursus was 'n voordeel vir die clubs wat nie die nodige kennis het nie, en ek dink hulle kan net baat vind by dit.
Ja, dat is echt een beetje een probleem is, maar allemaal gaan er wel verstrept, maar in elk geval is het een goede ding met die was de vraag om in zijn span voor ze dag gegeven hebben die medikit. Ik denk ze staat bij je voor en hij gaat goed verschil maken in al die kleine clubs wat ons mee bezig is. Ik is een speler wat ook baie opgebreken is, bij knie, je kan zien dat mijn enkel was gestrept, mijn knie was gestrept, zij op de rechte manier gestrept. En ik denk met zulke strep en strapping zal ik de players denk ik baie beter vinniger terugkomen en meer confidence krijgen in hun knie of hulle beseer as hulle terugkom. Ek dink maar ek sê vir julle baie dankie. Dit sal ons baie goed waardeer.
There is a financial challenge, and if we can invest more into women's sport, that will certainly help. Currently, the Boland have 5 women clubs. So women's rugby is on the up. In Saldanha, in this area, we have 2 clubs, but they're not part of the actual structure of the Boland Rugby Union. So I think for the future, we will be starting more women's rugby clubs here on the West Coast. And I think that is the future for a lot of women who want to take part in sport.
Okay, ja, in Mamasbury het ons 'n programmetjie daarso. Die klub se naam is Daisies, Mamasbury Daisies. Hulle is 'n vroulike rugbyklub daarso. Ja, die program is aan die gang, maar hulle struggle so klein 'n bietjie as hier en daar hakplekkies en ek dink die 3 plaaslike klubs moet 'n bietjie meer aandag skenke aan en die groter Boland moet ook inkoop in die saak. Om vroue rugby te promote gaan great wees van ja, het pop oral op en as ons sien na die been, ons nasionale been, hulle is baie competitive so in Suid-Afrika sal ons dit moet regkry.
Vir my in Rossingwil, omdat ons 'n agtergeblewe rugbyklub is dit baie winsgewend. Want ons kry nie die skills wat ons hier geleer word vandag, kry ons hier aldag. En vir my klub benefit ons kwai, want hier kan ek nou sekere goedere doen by die safety en veiligheid van die rugby. Ek wil net vir sekere rolspelers dankie sê, die NLC en die sporters. Wil ek baie dankie sê vir die geleentheid wat hulle skep dat ons dit kan doen.
The NLC Sports Trust relationship is a very valuable relationship between the 2 entities. It comes a very long way. I think the Sports Trust is a very legitimate and viable vehicle for the NLC as well as for the government, the Sports Ministry. We've done a lot of projects for both and as well as other big corporates around the country. However, the NLC project relationship is outstanding. We do implement a lot of big projects with a lot of money. You talk about millions here. And this transformation development program is one that is very close to the hearts of the Sports Trust. We are now sort of towards the end, concluding this transformation development program and providing this necessary safety equipment, rugby apparel to a lot of rural clubs around the country. Is that exactly what we are doing, and what we have seen today in Saldanha is to ensure that we equip those rural clubs not only with the equipment but also with the necessary skill to utilize that vital equipment to ensure the safety and the welfare and well-being of our players.
Ek het vandag baie geleer hoe om strapping van my ou se knie te sit, hoe om my strapping op my ou se skouer te sit, my trauma bord reg vas te maak en hoe om die pasiënt van die veld af te bring en te sorg dat hy veilig teen die kant is om vir die dokter en die ambulans te wag. Ek is trots op dit wat gedoen is vandag en wat ons ontvang het vandag en wat ons nog gaan ontvang. Ek is trots op die persone wat agter dit gesit het. Ek haal my hoed af vir dit wat hulle gedoen het vir ons as klubs. Van ons klubs is so bevoorreg om al hierdie goede in te kan koop. Maar wat vandag uitgegee is aan al ons klubs, ek haal my hoed af vir dit wat hierdie organisasie vir ons gedoen het.
In die Boland, ons is baie klomp klein dorpies, groot rugbygees driftigers. Ja, daar's verskeie programme en goed wat op die been gebring is en wat nou tans hardloop. En ja, ons probeer maar met elke tree en stap om rugby te verbeter in ons groter gemeenskappe. Ek wil eerstens net baie dankie sê vir die rolspelers wat die inisiatief aangeneem het om hierdie program op die been te bring. Dit sal vir ons kleiner klubs baie help van as ons kyk na die finansiële been van die saak. Dan ons sukkel 'n bietjie, maar baie dankie weer eens vir die rolspelers. Baie dankie vir NLC vir die inisiatief wat hulle ook gebring het en Sports Trust. Ek wil vir julle baie dankie sê, dit gaan vir ons grootliks baie help. Dankie.
The IRI, we're a skills-based academy. So our main focus is developing players' individual skills, what they will require to actually become a professional player. So what we've noticed is that, or want to help with, is a lot of the kids here, especially in the Boland area, especially here on the West Coast, doesn't always get the opportunity to get a taste of what it will require to become a professional player. So we actually want to be that pathway for them. No, it's actually, we do actually cover a very wide spectrum. I mean, the basis of it is we are a skills academy. So we specialize in position-specific skills, unit skills, what you're going to require in your position to be effective in attack and defense, all those aspects. But also very important, not all of them are going to make it as rugby players. So we actually do give the guys the opportunity to qualify themselves as coaches. Through Boland Rugby and SA Rugby, they will be able to do the level 1 and level 2 courses. We're in talks now also with a referee academy, so the guys can qualify themselves as referees to make sure that if the rugby side of it doesn't work out, they have something to fall back on. People can get involved as either a sponsor. We are a registered NGO, so there's the obvious benefits for that. And then also people that feel they want to pay the money for their son or daughter, because it's also for girls, which is very important to attend. And I mean, people can visit our website, www.internationalrugbyinstitute.com. All the information is on there, and we're really looking forward to hear from people.
This investment by the National Lotteries Commission is essential to support transformation in sport, and especially the well-being and safety of the rugby players in the rural clubs. The Sports Trust continues to enhance education through sport by working together with their stakeholders, and thank the National Lotteries Commission for their investment into safety in sport.